Amazing. We'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much, ladies, for meeting me on your mat this Saturday. We've got a little sunshine here in Denver, and it sure is nice. Am I right? Uh, it's so hard to feel that really hard weather when we're so used to just having sunshine most of the time. So thanks for being here. Like I said to a couple prior, we will be doing a vinyasa and yin class today. So moving quite a bit in the beginning, and then we're going to take it slower towards the end with some yin postures, which is kind of fun. So yin really is about getting the fascia sort of released through the body. So those places where we have like lots of stuckness and pain, yin helps us settle in with more sensation so that we can kind of let the fascia begin to open and spread. So releasing some of the pain that we hold in maybe the side bodies or the hips or maybe the shoulders, where those are big target points, especially for women. So with that being said, I will be using a blanket and 2 blocks today. So if you have those items, grab them. If you don't, please know that you can do all of the postures without that. Let's start seated. So a nice gentle seat. I mentioned last week that we'll be moving through the yamas and the niyamas, which are the first 2 limbs on the 8-limbed path that Patanjali laid out for us. And the idea of this 8-limbed path in yoga philosophy is that as we start to go through each layer, ideally the last one is samadhi, which is bliss, true enlightenment. So each one has a purpose. The yamas are restraints, so things that we really should be avoiding. And last week we talked about ahimsa. This week it is on Satya, which is truthfulness or honesty. So avoiding the lying or the confusion that sometimes we don't see things as they really are. So once you have your comfortable seat, just place your palms on your thighs and take a moment to close your eyes. So Sat meaning true essence or unchangeable. It's true nature. So when we start to peel away the layers of doubt, of fear, what's underneath? What's really that seed truth? It's about not lying, truth in action and thoughts and words. What are some little ways that dishonesty surfaces in your life? Just take a moment to think. Are you honest with yourself about your body? Are you honest with yourself about your appearance? Are you honest in your dealings with your friends or your coworkers or even your family members? Bring awareness to your breath and just start to slowly move it through the body more intentionally. Begin to awaken up the toes, the soles of the feet, the legs, the elbows, the shoulders. Move the prana in and out. Our mind likes to go to past events or start to focus on what's coming next, which neither one of those are reality, right? They don't exist anymore. But the moment here, this present moment, is attached to our breath. So if we can stay focused on our breathing, we can remain present. And that is one of the most powerful tools that we have. And therein lies Satya, right? The truthfulness of this exact moment. We can often cloud it with past feelings or fear, or we can think ahead to what we think we want to be or what we hope will become. But in this moment is truth. Let's move a little bit the spine in our breath. So send everything out. And as you do so, I want you to pull the belly button back towards the spine and start to curl the upper back. So exhaling completely, hold it out. And then from the tailbone, inhale, breathe in, fill up the belly, the lungs, the upper chest. You'll lift the head, hold it in. An open, audible exhale. Again, feel the rounding of the spine as you curl inward and hold the breath out. Twice more like this. Full breath in to the top. And then a big breath out. Once more, full inhale. Hold it at the top. Take in that last sip of air. And then a slow breath out, let it go. This time, hold the breath out again. And then seal your lips. Ujjayi, breath in through the nose. And a slow Ujjayi breath out through the nose. Feel the whole body begin to participate in the breath. We use the seated meditation to transition from the activity that happened prior to this moment. So feel the surrender, the peace that unfolds as you find stillness and you connect with your breath. We'll be focusing a big part of our class on the upper body, the torso. So the whole spine, the side bodies, the heart space. So let's go ahead and take our fingertips toward the earth, and we're going to move our hands a little bit. So face your palms toward the sky. Inhale, lift all the way up. I want you to pull your rib cage away from the hips as you take your hands together to touch, and then lift the gaze, pull the heart forward. And then exhale, hands down. So start to really link the movement with the breath. Inhale, rise up. Listen for the change. Interlace your hands and then take your palms toward the ceiling. And then slowly draw your arms forward so your palms are facing out. Beautiful. And then inhale, open up nice and wide this way. So take your shoulder blades toward the back body. And exhale, pull the palms together. So we're going to round the upper spine again, chin to chest, and then curl the tailbone under slightly. So you get that last little tug of the core space. Twice more. Inhale, nice and wide, big, open. Exhale, pull the palms together. Beautiful, everyone. Breath in, open up nice and wide. And breath out. Now interlace your hands again. Place your palms towards me. As you inhale, lift up. And then you're just going to move organically on your own, gently from side to side. Feel free to stay for a full breath if you want to open up the shoulders. You can always take your shoulders towards your ears and rock them back down too. So really find a couple ways to move here and notice what's present in your body today. Beautiful. I see we have a couple more that joined us. Thank you so much for being here. And then come up through center, release the hands, and slowly exhale, draw the hands down. Take yourself into child's pose. So big toes to touch, knees move wide. Extend your arms forward and then drop your hips back towards your heel. Here's your opportunity to really move through the heart space again. So awareness towards the heart as you inhale, lift the back body slightly. And as you exhale, you soften the front of the heart down toward the earth. A few more times like that. Go ahead and press down through the palms. And as you inhale, take yourself forward to blossoming lotus. Now it's really easy to dump into the low back and the shoulders. I want you to try to avoid this by toning your belly, pulling your inner thighs together, and activating your feet. So you feel your glutes fire up too. And then soft bend to the elbows as you lift the crown of the head higher. So you are engaged. Take a full breath in. Exhale, press back. This time, puppy pose. So curl your toes under. Allow the hips to stay elevated as you drop the chin to the earth for a deeper shoulder stretch. Now, I know it's important to really listen to your body. I don't know how warm you are already this morning or what ailments or symptoms you might be feeling in your body. So take what you need at any given time. This could be just too deep already. So honor that by listening. And then moving through on your own, maybe you close your eyes. And then come forward to Blossoming Lotus and exhale back to Puppy Pose. So really ride the wave of the breath. Let the breath guide the movements. Slow and steady, we begin to warm up the body. Amazing, just a couple more times. And then meet me in tabletop. All fours. Spread your fingertips really wide. Press down through the palms, and then stack your knees in line with your hips. Let's focus on the belly for just a minute. So as you inhale, I want you to feel the belly expand like a balloon. This can often be challenging, especially if you're not used to belly breathing. So take your focus to really open up the belly like a balloon. And as you exhale, snap the belly button back towards the spine. Keep the body nice and firm. So we're just focusing on the belly. Inhale, big expansion like a balloon. Then exhale, pull it up and in. One more time, breath in. And breath out. Now keep the core engaged. Walk your hands forward. Curl your toes under. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips up. Opportunity to pedal through your feet, bending one knee then the other. I think downward facing dog really is a true assessment of what I'm feeling each day, right? I put myself in downward facing dog and I'm like, oh gosh, my shoulders or my hips or the back of my legs or whatever. So start to get curious about your body here. And then make sure your feet are hip width distance apart, a nice firm foundation to support you. And then just straighten the legs as you rock the heels closer to the earth. You get that back of your leg stretch. And then bend the knees, elevate the sit bones, and press down through the heels of the hands. And then I want you to take the pointy parts of your elbows downward towards the earth. So feel that shift through your shoulders. And you have a slight bend through your elbows as well. Take a full breath in. Slow breath out. And then inhale, high plank. Go ahead and rock yourself forward. So you probably shouldn't have to shift your feet too much, but maybe just a little bit. And then create that again, soft bend through the elbows, tone the quadriceps, activate your heels, and then pull the low belly in. Now notice if you're gazing towards your feet, I want you to take your gaze above your mat. This levels off the sternum and the hips. So good, take a full breath in. And then exhale, hover, drop your knees and drop your elbows toward the earth. They're not gonna touch the earth, they're just hovering. And this allows you to really suction cup the belly button towards the spine. So that little core work we did before, I want you to feel that activation now. Yes, just like that. And then inhale, high plank, you're gonna burst forward. Ideally not have to move your hands or your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, use your core and lift your hips high. So we're gonna flow through those three postures to build a little heat in our body. So just listen up. The hands and feet really shouldn't have to move now that we've gone through each posture. So inhale, high plank, just roll forward, gaze above your mat. Exhale, hover, elbows and knees drop toward the earth. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, use your core to lift your hips up and back. So 3 more times, we're gonna move through a little more quickly. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, hover. High plank, downward facing dog. So good, 2 more, high plank and hover. High plank, downward facing dog. So good, stay with me, high plank, hover. High plank and downward facing dog. Amazing, 1 more time just because we can. High plank and hover. High plank, downward facing dog. Amazing. Go ahead and walk your hands back towards your feet for forward fold. Maybe you walk your feet a little wider on your mat. Take what you need, bend your knees and just drape the torso over the thighs. Keep your hands down on the mat just to start. And then feel your weight move towards your toe mounds. And then chin to chest as you extend the top of the head toward the earth. Now from here, once you're steady and strong, lift the hands and interlace your hands at the low back for a chest expansion. Option to lift the fists up and away from the low back for a deeper shoulder stretch. Give yourself 2 full breaths. This compression that we find in our forward folds is so good for our circulatory system. So we're compressing everything, and then when we release, everything starts to move and flow with a little more ease. Release the hands down. Maybe you walk your feet a little closer together. Press through all four corners of your feet, and inhale, slowly rise. You can take your hands to your legs as you travel up to standing. Great work, everyone. Lift your arms toward the sky. Interlace your hands again, and then lift your palms toward the sky, just like that. Yeah. Staying rooted through your feet, strengthen your legs. Take a full breath in. Exhale, side bend to the right, up and over. So as long as you're rooted through your feet, you start to open up the intercostal muscles through the side bodies. Make sure you're not rounded through the upper back. I want you to lift the heart. Take the chin away from the chest. Inhale back through center. Exhale over to the left. Side body stretch. Inhale up to center. Keep your hands as they are, and then exhale, back bend. So focus on allowing your biceps to stay in line with your ears. Take your weight towards your heels, and then you lift the heart and the gaze. The legs are really strong. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, grow nice and long. Exhale, crawl forward, high plank. Now shift forward, either drop to your knees or lower all the way down to the earth. Take your hands nice and wide, and then spider tip your fingertips off of the mat. As you lift your elbows toward the sky, press the tops of your feet down. Strengthen your glutes and push your pubic bow into the earth. So we're gonna do a wide arm cobra here. Inhale, peel the heart up. Lift through the crown of the head. Notice if your shoulders are towards your ears, I want you to rock them down closer to the earth. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release. 2 more times, we'll flow. Inhale, slow lift up, lengthen through the torso. Exhale, let go. Last one, breath in. And breath out. Beautiful, everybody. Curl your toes under, take your hands beneath your shoulders. Inhale, tabletop or high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. So that's our flow. We'll move through breath to movement. Walk your hands back towards your feet, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Use the core, right? Don't forget about the core's activation in all of our postures. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana, all the way up through standing. Interlace the hands, palms toward the sky. Exhale, side bend to the right, up and over. Option to take your gaze underneath your left armpit for just a deeper stretch. Inhale, reach up to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Again, turn your gaze underneath your right armpit. Inhale, lift up, and then release the hands this time. Exhale, back bend. Pull your elbows down in a gold post. Lift the heart. So you're taking your shoulder blades behind the back body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, crawl forward, high plank. This time, shift yourself forward. Drop to your knees. Flip your toes, upward facing dog. So lifting your thighs, your knees off of the mat, and then stack your shoulders above the wrists as you lengthen up to the crown of the head. Your core is working really hard here. Take a full breath in. Exhale, drop your knees, curl your toes, downward facing dog, hips lift. Take a big breath in. And an even bigger breath out. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step through. And then forward fold. Let your feet meet. So left foot forward and drop the head. So we'll be moving through a mandala on our mat. So full circles around. We're going to lose ourselves in the flow today. Inhale, Tadasana, all the way up. Reach the hands. Exhale, chair with airplane arms. Sit down and reach back. First time here in chair. So lift your toes. And then activate the inner thighs to midline. Yep, drop the booty a little lower. Notice if the shoulders are up, I want you to take them down and pull your heart through. Just breathe for a minute. Trust in the strength of your body. Slow the breath down. Stay rooted through your right foot. Inhale, one-legged twist to the left, left leg high. Open up through the arms. Definitely my favorite posture. You'll thank me, right? As we get older, we start to lose our balance. So this is just really beneficial. But notice if you're over lifting the left hip, I want you to pull it back down. Flex the left toes. This is going to give you that inner thigh engagement that you need. Take a big breath. Exhale, low lunge. So go ahead and cartwheel the hands, slowly transition the left foot back. Now this is where I will be using a blanket because we'll move into crescent moon. So my knees are a little sensitive. If you don't have a blanket, you can always roll your mat over. Drop your left knee down. So for the purposes of this flow, we do need our left toes curled under because we'll be moving up in just a minute. Inhale, crescent moon, arms rise. Start to feel it out a little bit, shifting forward, drawing back. And then take opposite hand to opposite elbow. And then once you've found some fluidity, I want you to solidly find some stillness. So inner thighs engage, heart lifts, elbows reach toward the sky as you deepen into your lunge. Breathe. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms. So you're going to lift off your back knee, straighten your back leg, and extend the torso forward. Now, don't forget about the core here. So I feel like we're putting lots of pressure on our hips, which is great, but lessen the pressure by toning the belly. And then almost like you could touch the wall behind you. Take your right hand to your low back. Inhale, exalted crescent, left arm lifts up. Now you have a soft bend to your left knee. This creates more space in the torso by opening up the low back. Gaze is high. Take a full breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Open up the arms. Adjust your stance. I see you all. Amazing, strong practice. Now, we always, or not always, sometimes we like to shorten our stance, like when we're not feeling super confident about our posture. So notice if you can actually widen your feet a little further. Ideally, underneath the wrist creases is great. This is a perfect stance to support your physical body. And then settle in. Take your gaze over your right middle finger. Inhale, star pose, lift up. So your toes are out, your heels are in. This is like the biggest posture you can put yourself in. So actively, like you have magnets underneath your heels, you're gonna draw them through midline and feel the strength rise up through your pelvic bowl. Take a full breath in. Exhale, Prasarita. So turn your toes in, hinge at your hips and let go as you drop your head down. Just a couple breaths here. Feel free to bend your knees, take your hands in any variation that serves you. And then hands beneath the shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Listen here because we're doing a mandala. Exhale, low lunge to the back. If you want a block, go ahead and take it with you and just leave it back here. Give yourself a moment in your low lunge to again further explore the hips, releasing any tight spots. And then take your hands to the block or the floor. Inhale, standing splits right leg high. Now notice if the right hip's trying to open up, I want you to drop the right hip crease down. One way that's easy to do this is to flex your right toes towards your face and dial your pinky toe toward the earth. This is going to level off your hips. Power down through the standing leg, especially through the left heel. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, feet meet. So for true mandala fashion, we'll do the same side, the same leg is what we start with. Inhale, Tadasana all the way up. Exhale, chair, airplane arms. Stay rooted through your right leg. Inhale, one-legged twist to the left, left leg high. Flex your left toes. Yeah, a little muscle memory. Pack in your right hip crease. Listen for the change though. It's a little different on this day. Take a big breath in. Exhale, airplane pose to Kasana. So slowly you'll transition left heel back. Reach your arms along your side bodies. And again, level off the hips, taking your gaze toward the earth. Inhale, warrior one. So land softly. A little shorter, a little wider through your feet. Our first time here. You want to square your hips forward and let your left heel be your anchor. So if it's not connected to the earth, just know that you can shorten your stance a little bit. Arms rise up. Take a full breath. Exhale, humble warrior. So hinge at your hips, reach forward, down and around. Option to interlace your hands and then drop your right shoulder to your knee. Let the head hang. Just breathe. Activating your core, release your grip. Inhale, star pose. Let your left arm lead the way as you burst up towards center. Exhale, horse. Sit low. Stack your shoulders in line with your hips. And we're just going to move our arms into goddess pose. I do apologize that I'm not looking at you. This is the challenge of mandalas in a virtual setting. Inhale, your arms rise up, palms clap. Exhale, elbows pull down. Twice more, big and strong breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Amazing. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior two to the front. I hope I didn't lose any of you in the round the world that we just did. So give this side a little attention. Check in with the feet. Just because we've landed, we certainly don't have to stay. We can make those micro adjustments before we start to settle in. Gazing over your left middle finger this time. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Maintain your lunge as you take your gaze to follow your left fingertips. Breathe in. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, your way. So you can take any connecting vinyasa that calls to you, whether that's cobra or holding high plank, or taking the fullest expression. Just meet me in downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Forward fold, feet connect. Inhale, Tadasana all the way up. Exhale, chair, airplane arms. So we'll move through the other direction. Seal your heels down. Stay rooted through your left leg. Inhale, one-legged twist to the right, right leg high. Feel the expansion and then pull in through center. The core is really strong. Right? How else can we lift the right leg if the core is not doing the work? Take a big breath in. Exhale, low lunge, easy transition down. Curling the mat or using the blanket, drop your right knee. Keep your right toes curled under. So you know we're lifting up soon. Inhale, crescent moon, arms rise. Now take the opposite grip, the one that feels kind of funny. So elbows or palms to elbows. And then give this side a little movement. Settling in. Activate the outer glutes. Pull the inner thighs, lift the torso away from the hip creases and take the gaze high. Use the breath to further open up the shoulders in this posture, right? Because the breath, at the fullest expression, is moving so much, even as we hold stillness. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms, lift off, extend forward. Feel the connection you have to the earth with your feet and trust that connection. Left hand to your low back. Inhale, exalted crescent, right arm rises. Gaze follows. Soften in the right knee. Take a full breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Open up, expand. Inhale, star pose, rise. Burst toward the sky. Exhale, prasarita, toes in, hinge at your hips, drop your head down. Maybe a different arm variation, you decide. But give your hamstrings a break, really bend the knees, pigeon toe the toes. Hands beneath the shoulders, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge to the back. Just a full breath here. Hands to the floor or your block. Inhale, standing splits, left leg high. Now level off the hips by flexing your left toes and dialing your pinky toe toward the earth. And then root through the right heel. Strengthen the leg. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, feet meet. Inhale, Tadasana all the way up. Exhale, chair, airplane arms. Same side, friends. Stay rooted through the left leg. Inhale, one-legged twist to the right. Listen for the change, though. Exhale, Dakasana, full airplane pose. Right heel back, arms extend back. Level off your hips. The stronger you are through the back body, from the heel to the crown of the head, the easier this posture becomes. We're lightening the load on the standing leg. Inhale, warrior one, land softly. Seal your right heel down. Lunge into the front knee as you square your hips forward. And then take the arms high. The gaze is lifted. Take a full breath in. Let your right heel be your anchor. Exhale, humble warrior. Bow forward, down, and around. Interlace the hands, maybe the opposite grip that doesn't feel quite so comfortable. Chin to chest. Shoulder rests on the left knee. Take this opportunity to slow the breath down and to really become the witness. Release the hands. Inhale, star pose. Lead with the right arm up and around. And then exhale, horse. Sit low, hands to heart space. Knees are wide. We'll take same goddess 2 times. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, elbows down. So good. Breath in and out. Amazing. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior 2 to the front. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And just feel the depth of the lunge. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low. Your way. Taking exactly what you need, no apologies. Full breath in, friends. And a big breath out. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step through. And forward fold, feet meet. We're gonna hang out here in our forward fold for a nice minute. So make sure your feet are hip width distance apart. So this is where we're gonna start the yin part of class. Feet are hip width distance apart. Knees are bent. You can just rest your hands down. Or if you want a deeper stretch, you can, take your opposite hand to the front of your opposite shin. So my right hand moves around the back of my legs and comes to the front of my left shin. I'll move forward so you guys can kind of see. This is just a deeper compression. You can do this, or you can just grab your heels. But the breathing is super important here because we are compressing the whole torso towards the spine. Just let the head hang heavy. If it serves you, you can shake your head yes or no. Now, no one will be here forever. After a minute, it gets a little challenging. So just stay with your breath, close your eyes, and know that this isn't going to last forever. And try to use the breath to simply relax and be present with whatever decides to show up, right? Because when we compress, we're releasing things from our bodies. That means that thoughts or images might start to surface, feelings, emotions. And if you're holding tension in the shoulders, with the fingertips, awareness to release. Yin challenges us in the most interesting ways, right? Because it's just so awkward sometimes, these postures where we're just like, really, why are we doing this, and what is the point? But there is a point, so notice what shows up. And if we can put ourselves in these crazy, awkward, challenging, uncomfortable postures on our mat, imagine the strength that happens outside of the four corners of the mat. Feel free to play with how you distribute the weight to the soles of the feet. So maybe you're moving more towards the heels. Perhaps you take your weight a little forward towards the toenails. Last full minute here, friends. Stay with me. And start to find 3 full rounds of breath. I want you to do it really slowly. So inhale very slowly, maybe to a count of 8. Now pause at the top, and then you'll exhale really slowly to a count of 8, pausing at the bottom. Do this 3 full rounds of breath. And you'll have your hands to the earth. Inhale halfway, very slowly, lengthen through the torso. And then lift your heels and tuck and curl into a tiny ball. So we're still compressing, but just lengthen up through the crown of the head, and instead of taking the chin towards the chest, get long through the spine. So good. Come on down to your booty. Whew, great work. Imagine that forward fold can be a lot of effort, right? So we'll come into Sphinx pose. So laying on your belly, go ahead and take your arms to a number 11. Make sure that the elbows are beneath the shoulders. That's really important here. And that the palms are flat down. Now I want you to take the tops of your feet towards the edges of your mat. So they're gonna be wider than you normally would in Cobra pose, nice and wide through the feet. With the elbows beneath the shoulders, just lift up through the crown of the head. And maybe you start to just activate the glutes a little bit. So you're protecting the low back. Just 2 minutes here, and nothing too crazy. And allow your breath to massage the spaces of the shoulders. As you inhale, you feel this gentle, natural lift. And as you exhale, you feel a depression of the torso to sort of move through the ball and socket joint of the shoulder space. With our eyes closed, we can minimize the distractions through the mind. So feel free to just take your eyes to close and focus on your breath and any sensations that are present here. Option to remain for the last minute in this posture, or you can take your hands slightly forward to the edges of the mat, the corners, and you can start to straighten the arms for seal pose. So this is just a deeper extension of the same posture. So the arms go nice and straight, you're firmly rooted through your hands, and then you can just let the chest kind of move through as you lift up through the crown of the head. So you get a deeper shoulder engagement. Breathe. Smooth out the breath. Notice if it starts to get a little crackly or erratic. Just take the effort and the awareness to smoothing out the inhales and the exhales. We hold so much tension from every other person or situation in our life in our shoulders. So give yourself the love right here that you deserve to release all of the sticky spots. And know that when we release, everything will start to move with more ease, more freedom, and less pain. All right, 3 full deep breaths wherever you are. If you decided to extend or stay in Sphinx pose. You'll slowly drop the elbows down. Stack your hands for just a minute. Rest your third eye there. Option to lift the heels and very gently windshield wiper the legs. Very slowly. You can rotate the head too in the opposite direction so you get a nice little spinal twist here. Take the tops of the feet down, place your palms beneath your shoulders, lift yourself up, cross your ankles, roll over your feet. We're gonna move into Bananasana. So just like it sounds, you're gonna put yourself in a banana shape. I want you to take your blanket, if you had it close to your head, you might want it as a pillow. And then move your 2 blocks closer to your head too, so that after Bananasana, we'll come into our final posture and we'll meet our props. So take your legs forward and rest down onto the back. Now you're going to come into a modified star. So your heel's going to come to the corners of the mat below you, and your elbows are going to come to the corners of the mat above you. From here, lift your right leg and place your right heel on top of your left ankle. Now take your right arm over to the left, bend your right elbow, and bend both elbows, and place the left hand on top of the right palm. If you want more of a banana shape, you can take your left heel further to the left. This opens up the side body more. But bending both elbows allows the shoulders to surrender a little bit. If you feel like you don't want the elbows bent, you can create even more of an extension. I'll leave that up to you. If for whatever reason the right shoulder is bothering you, you can place a blanket underneath your right elbow. This gives you a little more support. Now rock your left chin towards your shoulder and take a full breath in. Exhale, simply ease into the posture. So the hips are down on the mat, the shoulders are also down on the mat. So we're not off to the left side. We are rooted through the whole back body, and we're simply opening up to the right side in a banana shape. Close the eyes. Try and relax through the fingertips and the toes. Three full breaths, friends. And don't skip out on the breath. This opportunity to really full body breathe is not something that we take advantage of unless we're in a class and have somebody to cue it for us. So really stay present with the ability to full body breathe. Your transition will be back to your modified star. And then as you're here, you can inhale and reach to the fingertips, extend through the toes, start to open up the whole body as you stretch forward and back. And then exhale, just soften down. Now you'll lift the left leg and take the left heel on top of the right ankle. And the left arm moves over to the right, and then the right hand will rest on top of the left palm. Adjusting your body, right? We think that our bodies are the same, but they're actually not. So this side might look very different. You might have to back off the banana shape, or you might want more. But keep the shoulders down, keep the hips down on the mat, and just open up the left side body. The right chin moves towards the shoulder. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, just let it all go. Start to come back to the breath. 3 full rounds, nice and slow. And a slow transition back to the modified star. Reach and extend through the fingertips and the toes. Then as you exhale, pull your knees towards your chest. And then wrap your arms around your shins. And then feel free to rock gently from side to side, really releasing the low back, massaging the large muscles along the spine. And then start to rock forward and back. And come up to seated, and I'll set you up in your final resting posture. So we'll take a supported fish to end class. So you're going to need your blocks. One block at the lowest setting, perhaps. As you move in, you'll decide if you want this to level 2 or level 1. So just know that. And then about 6 to 8 inches below, you're going to take your second block to a level 2 setting. So this block in particular is going to go right along the spine between the shoulder blades. If you need your blanket beneath your hips, that's a great option, just for a little extra support. So coming onto your booty, you'll extend your legs forward. And this is where you take your hands behind you and grab your block, because then you get to adjust it. So you'll start to lay down, making sure that the block is along the spine between the shoulder blades. And then you get to decide if you want the block beneath your head at the lowest setting, or maybe you move it up to. And you can always start higher, and then as you start to relax the body, you can lower it down, okay? It takes a little finagling here, so just give yourself a little time. Take your heels closer together and then let your toes fall out. Allow your arms to rest along your side bodies with your palms face up. Once you feel settled and rooted here, breathe in as you lift the heart. And then exhale, just allow the props to support you, letting everything go from the toes to the fingertips, to the muscles around the eyes and around the mouth. If for whatever reason, opening up and ending class this way with the heart lifted doesn't quite serve you, please know that a standard Shavasana is a great option. So listening to what your body needs is really important, and just take it. This is not an obligated posture for you to put yourself in. You're heavy through the heels, heavy through the hips, heavy through the elbows and the back of the hands. But the breath is light and free as it moves gently through the body. On its own, don't force anything here. And you'll travel up your internal gaze to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. Allow it to reside, welcoming any images or colors that begin to manifest from your consciousness. If we can't be honest with ourselves first, we cannot truly be honest in any other part of our lives. And this is why Satya is so important. In the yamas are the first limb on the 8-limb path, and they guide us through 5 of them. So Satya, truthfulness, how can we begin to move forward if we can't truly be honest with ourselves and with others around us? The sutras speak of Satya. The sutras are ancient texts, guidelines, scriptures that we refer to in yogic philosophy. And they say, to one established in truthfulness, actions and their results become subservient. I'll repeat that. To one established in truthfulness, actions and their results become subservient. First, follow truth, then truth will follow you. Slowly begin to awaken your bodies with breath. Maybe you start to find small movements in the fingertips and the toes. If you're on your blocks, be mindful if you extend your arms overhead. And then take one knee at a time, plant the soles of your feet down, roll gently over to the right side. Take a moment here in supported fetal position to witness any shifts in the body or the mind, or even the breath that has happened the last 60 minutes. And give yourself a moment of thanks for making it to your mat and honoring your body. nourishing your body and accepting your body just as it is. I invite you to find Satya, ways to feel Satya throughout the rest of the day. And press down, lift yourself up to seated, keeping your eyes closed. Place your palms together at your heart space for Anjali Mudra. The symbol of gratitude for this sacred practice. Let's end class today with one Om. Take a full breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, we prepare. And take the vibrations with you. Pull your thumbs to your third eye. Bowing forward, namaste. Thank you all so much for being here. Such an honor to guide you. I'm actually holding a workshop next Sunday, the 28th. It's from 2 to 4. It's either in person at Ohana Yoga and Bar here in Denver, or it's also virtual online as well. So it's the power of Om. We're going to talk about why we Om, what it means to Om. We're going to do an Om circle. We're going to do a little bit of movement. And I'd love to have you all join, whether it's in person or virtual. It'd be really nice to connect. If you're interested in that at all, reach out to me and I can get you the details and how you can register. But until next time, friends, be well. And thank you so much for being here. This is such an honor to guide you through class. I will see you very soon.